Trophy, please welcome University of Virginia coach Steve Swanson.
At Virginia, we have 4 players with the first name of Morgan, and we have 1 player with the last name of Morgan. So I just want to make sure that I get the right one here. And I do. So that's good. For those of you who don't know, I had the pleasure of coaching both Morgan and Crystal on the under-20 team. And for the last 2 years, I think I've spent countless hours on planes, trains, automobiles, bullet trains, tricycles, scooters, meals, dinners, breakfast, all over the world. Spain, Panama, Japan twice, 32 days in Japan. I think I'm going to give her a little credit here because this is another dinner that we sent together again. So, and she puts up with me, so I appreciate that. I think on behalf of the University of Virginia, I think all of us, I think the first thing I'd like to say is just thank you for this hospitality. I think this event is fantastic for our sport. To recognize both the men's and women's players in this format at such a, I think for me, growing up in the Midwest, St. Louis has always been a hotbed. And I think it's a rightful place to have this. And I think the job that the NSCA does in conjunction with the MAC is fantastic, so we really appreciate everything. One of the great things about sport, I think, is bringing people together. It doesn't matter what sport, and it's these kinds of times that I think build our sport. And I think soccer has a bunch of great people involved in it, and I think we can thank people like Bobby Clark, who have been here a long time, have given all they can to expand the sport here. I look at this room here, and there's so many friends and colleagues here that it's just a pleasure to be here and to look around the room. I have to congratulate Amanda. She's a Virginia grad. I'm very proud of her. And looking at that video, I almost want to play that game one more time. That game, we had a great game, and it's fabulous that she's here. I mentioned Bobby. I've been coaching Bobby for a while. The man's 67 years young. He won his first title, 27 years of coaching college soccer. But I think Harris and Chip would agree that for 27 years, the man's won a national championship by the way he coaches and the kind of program he runs and the kind of example he sets in college soccer. So this is my time to give him a little congratulations for the national championship. Also, my man Sasho, I grew up with Sasho. He was my training partner. He lived in Windsor, I lived in Detroit. He came across the Detroit River almost daily. We trained to get better. And I think Taylor and Patrick might not ever have seen Sasho. His hair is the same all the time. But I'm telling you, I've seen his hair when it's wet and it's not pretty. So I don't know if you guys have seen that, but you don't want to see that. But Sasho's done an awful lot for the game as well. And I consider him a good friend. He's one of those guys that if you don't talk to him for 25 years and he asks you to, and you're in trouble and he asks you to do something, he'll be there for you in a second. So it's like a brother to me. So I want to congratulate him on his year. Before I talk a little bit about Morgan, I also know directly Abby and Crystal, and I think the reason why this award is so special is because these 2 players are fantastic. And I worked with Crystal, I coached Abby both on the U.S. national teams, and not only are they fabulous players, but they're terrific role models for all the younger players out there. So I just want to congratulate you and wish you the very best. I think they're both playing fantastic now, and I think this is the face of our national team in the future. So congratulations. When somebody watches Morgan Bryan for the first time, and I have to say I have to admit this, but you know, the first few things you'd say, I have to admit this because it was a friendly about 3 years ago against Norway, and as I'm looking at the 2 lineups there in the middle of the field, I'm looking at a Norwegian that's 6'2", 6'3", 6'2", 6'5", all the way down. And then I look at our squad and look at Morgan, and the first things that might go through your mind is, are you kidding me? She does not look that tough or strong. She's going to get killed. And when you watch her play, though, after 90 minutes, this is what you inevitably say. She's as strong and as tough as they come. She just killed that team. Are you kidding me? And if you haven't seen Morgan Bryant play, you will. And I think you'll say the same thing after you're done watching her. Some people ask me what makes Morgan Bryant so special. And I think there's a lot of younger players in the room, and I think you can take note of this. The first thing I'll tell you is that she has some amazing values. She's well-grounded. And I think she deserves, I think she would acknowledge this, but her parents, Steve and Vicky, deserve a lot of credit for raising her the way they did. She's won almost every award you could think of. She's even won an ESPY. She's won the National Player of the Year, Rookie of the Year. She's won World Cups, and I've never seen her once change the way she goes about playing. She respects the game, she's honest with herself, she takes responsibility, she's an extremely hard worker, she demands so much of herself, she sets an example, she's not scared to lead, she's humble, and I think that those foundational pieces of a player are so important at this level, at any level. And people ask me all the time, what's so special about Morgan Bryant? I would say that's the first thing, you know. So I'm telling you right now, she'll come home after winning this award. She'll come home after playing with the full national team, and she'll get right back to work with our team, and she fits right in. And I think that's a tribute to her parents, and I think that's a tribute to Morgan. The other thing that I would say about her, what makes her special, is she's a soccer player through and through. You know, so often in this country, I think, and this is true of the women's game, that when you notice a strong women's player, what you first see is an athlete. They're a great athlete. And Morgan Bryant is a great athlete, but when you watch her play, that's not the first thing you notice. The first thing you notice is she's a soccer player. She can handle the ball under pressure, she makes great decisions, and she makes her teammates better around her. And that, to me, is a change in our game. And I think in all three of them, Abby, Crystal, and Morgan, they're all like that. And I think the younger players can learn a lot from them in terms of the way they play the game, how much they love the game. And I would say Anson has it right. I think the majority of players don't watch the game as much as maybe they should, but I know Morgan does. It means a lot to her, and she's always looking for ways to learn, and that's another attribute for her. So you can imagine how proud we all are of Morgan at the University of Virginia. I think for us, she epitomizes everything our program's about, and I'd just like to congratulate her. I rarely get these chances to tell her how much I think about her as a coach, but very happy that she's come to the University of Virginia. I think we all can be proud as a country that we have someone like this, someone like Crystal, someone like Abby, that's going to represent our country down the road, and just want to congratulate her. Thank you again for having us here.